Hey there guys, what is going on? Sai here and welcome back yet again to another Gran Turismo 7 setup video for the channel. Today guys, we've got our very first all-electric vehicle, and this is for the Porsche Taycan Turbo S, and in my opinion probably one of the best all-round looking electric vehicles currently on the market. This, in my opinion, is actually quite nice to look at. It's not overly too done, not too funky like for instance VW's ID4s and so forth. I don't really mind the Tesla, but they're kind of overrated. This thing, I think it just looks absolutely sublime. It just, yeah, in my eyes, it looks absolutely gorgeous, and yeah, I do quite like the Taycan Turbo S. But yeah, enough about that. Let's go ahead and look at the setup I have for this car. So I've got, I think, 4 setups for this car. So I've got maxed out unrestricted setup. I've got 600 pp setup, 650 pp setup, and 700 pp setup as well. So let's go ahead and look at the maxed out setup here. So because this car is electric, the braking distances on this car isn't particularly good, just because you cannot use your gears to downshift and use the engine braking to slow you down a little bit faster. So with that, you have to brake a little bit earlier than you normally would have to do, and it's a bit handling wise it's not bad, but because of the sheer torque of an electric vehicle, it does like to get out of shape a little bit, so you have to be quite careful with the throttle, especially around slow speed corners. But with that being said, it's still a great car to drive, and yeah, definitely a new experience as well. So let's go ahead and look at all the settings now. So for the tyres, you want to equip yourself with racing soft tyres. For the suspension, for the customizable suspension, and your body heights at 55 and 65. Anti-roll bar is set 6 and 8. Damper ratio compression is 30 to 32. Damper ratio expansion is 42-46. Natural frequency is 2.50 and 2.65. Negative camber angle is 1.5 and 2.0. Toe angle is neutral, and then in 0.20. Moving down to your initial torque, you can't do anything to those settings here for the differential. Unfortunately, it would have helped out a lot with this car's handling. Moving up with the downforce now, so for the front downforce you want to run 160, and for the rear 220. ECU output is at 100 and power restrictor is at 100. Can't do anything to transmission, can't do anything to nitrous. You can virtually have no upgrade parts on this car apart from all these bodywork ones. So weight reduction, I was able to get weight reduction stage 5. That is a special part you get through a roulette ticket. So I've managed to actually fully decrease the weight of this car, which is quite handy to have, as it is quite a heavy car carrying all those batteries and motors. But even so, it's still not that fast in its respected categories. And also, you want to equip yourself with racing brakes and racing pads, and your brake controller settings. Now, it really does go as a personal preference here. I generally like to keep it at -2 for uh, tight complex tracks, and 0 for like more flowing tracks. But yeah, so let's go ahead and look at the other setups. So let's go down to the 600 pp. So for this one, racing hard tires. Everything else stays the same apart from the ECU output, which is at 71, and the power restrictor is at 70. Then you want to go down to 650 pp setup. Everything once again exactly the same. Suspension wise, soft tires, sports soft tires. ECU output is now at 79, and the power restrictor is still at 70%. And moving down to your final 700 pp setup, so sports soft on this one, and then you want to have 95 on your ECU output and 100 on your power restrictor. And yeah, that's it for the setup, guys. So what I'm going to do now is leave it at the maxed out setup, take it around for a spin around Catalonia to see what she can do.